Hi, I'm Chef Sherry, and I want to talk to you about the Snackle Box, also known as the Tackle Box Charcuterie Board. When I went on a kayaking trip with some good friends of ours, they brought along this Tackle Box Charcuterie Board, and I thought it was the coolest thing. Everybody loved it. It was a big hit on our kayaking trip, and it was put together beautifully. And so I'm going to kind of recreate that for you and give you a few tips on how to create your own Snackle Box or Tackle Box Charcuterie Board. Okay, let's get started. The first thing that you're going to need to do is you need to get a tackle box, and I suggest getting a new one versus using a already used one. You want to make sure that it is sanitary and cleaned, and so I suggest using a new one. We need to wash it before we get started, but let me talk about some of the assortment of foods that you're going to want. Everything that you're going to want in here, there's small slots in here, and we can adjust these, but you're going to want small bite-sized pieces of stuff that you're going to want to put in here. So you need to first pick a theme. What is your theme for your charcuterie? Do you want a kid's theme? You can do like the Teddy Grahams are a really good one for kids themes. The Baby Bell cheese is a really good one for kids. They can just grab it and just go. So you need to think on maybe you would like a sweet tackle box. Like you can do the chocolates, the different, you want to be careful with this, that make sure that you have, when you do use the chocolates in here, that you make sure that you have it refrigerated well before you, as you're transporting it, because otherwise the chocolate will melt in here. So you can do like maybe a pride theme where you do different sections are different colors. So you can do, you know, like orange theme in different ones here. So you can do a pride tackle box charcuterie. You can do a baby shower themed one. You can do like we did, which was just full of different assortments of snacks for who's ever going. So if you have adults, you want to maybe make more of an adult theme. If you have kids along, when we had our event, our kayaking trip, we had kids along with the adults. So they had put in like gummy worms were really stuff, or like the little gummy bears. They were small, bite-sized for the kids. It held up good in transportation, and the kids absolutely loved that little addition to the tackle box. So meat and cheeses are good. My husband makes his own venison summer sausage in the venison sticks. So we like to have that in our charcuterie whenever we have one. So we're going to be adding that, an assortment of different crackers. Nuts are good, is also a good, like you maybe want a healthy, like a super healthy themed snackle box. So choose like nuts and berries, you know, small berries. Blueberries are good in here. We have dried fruits are really good. The seeds are also very good in there. We do have like the fresh vegetables. So maybe you want a fresh vegetable one. So you can do like sliced up carrots and sliced up celery, or let's see, peppers are a really good one to add to this. So I suggest just kind of going through your fridge, going through your pantry, pick a theme, and then just rolling with it. So let's get started. We need to get this cleaned up before we get going any further. So I'm going to show you, some of them have them, the tackle box where the dividers are already out, where you have to put them in here. These ones were already in here when I purchased it. So another thing that you can do if you don't want to go out and get this, you may have, like I looked through the cupboard and I had this, which would make a really good charcuterie too. So that might be a good option of even just looking in your cupboard to see what kind of really cool containers that you have that you can maybe make your own. So let's get started. We're going to remove all these dividers out of here, and we're going to clean. These dividers are really helpful for when you're doing like different sizes. See, like this is just a little bit too tight. You wouldn't be able to really get this in if we did slices like this. So I'm going to show you different tricks on how to maybe cut this up to be able to fit in different spots that you have. So, or like the crackers here, they're like this size. They're not going to fit in just a thing. So you're going to want to open it up so that you have a bigger slot, and then you can fit the crackers in it like that. So that's one good thing about having these dividers in here, is being able to make your own size slot that you need. And I'm just going to take this over to the sink and we're going to get it cleaned up. So one good thing is you want to make sure that you dry this really good, and you might even want to do this step ahead of time, and to save time on it and to make sure that it is good and dry, and because that's one thing, you don't want moisture on the inside, and so you want to make sure that it is nice and dried out. So things that you're not gonna want to have in your charcuterie, your tackle box charcuterie, is going to be stuff like what you think would be really good for a charcuterie, but something like this I would not suggest, like olives or pickles, unless you really drain the juice off of it, and even maybe put like a little piece of dry paper towel underneath of it to help soak up any of the juice that might come from it afterwards. I suggest not using it, because once you shut this up and transport it, it's actually going to, the moisture is going to affect the different things that you have in here. So another thing that I suggest is, you know, unless you're serving it right away, is maybe hold off on putting crackers in there. Because if you put crackers in there along with the cheese and the sausage and the fruits, once you shut that up, the moisture, it's just going to soak up into the crackers, and your crackers are going to be a little bit soggy, or maybe a lot soggy, depending on how far you do this in advance. So my suggestion is to just maybe hold off on the crackers until you're ready to serve it. So we have all of our dividers here. You want to make sure everything is all nice and dry. Okay, one thing that you're gonna want to take note on, like this Snackle Box does have a few different sizes of the dividers in here. So there's different spots in here where they're smaller, and so you're just gonna want to take note that there possibly may be different sizes in your Snackle Box. So let's get started. You're going to have to decide on the size that you need. So we know I'm going to cut the sausages in smaller pieces, or the venison sticks, and the crackers are going to need to be just a little bit bigger. So you're going to have to figure out where you want to put stuff. So visually, you want to visualize what it is that you want in, and maybe, yeah, that's a smaller one. See, there is some that are smaller, so that one goes right there. So a couple tricky ones there. I'm just going to actually start and adding all of these in here, and then if I need to take out, then I will take out the ones that I need. So I know I'm going to leave that there. And it does help if you kind of have all of your stuff out, and so you can visually see what you have or what you want in your Snackle Box. So you know, if you have everything all spread out and unorganized, it's gonna kind of make it a little bit difficult to put it together. So, and there we go. This does take a little bit of practice, and this is something that I do suggest if you can do ahead of time. See, there's a few of them, and what's going is these lips here, that's what's making this section a little bit smaller there. So once you get the hang of it, it goes pretty fast. But another thing, like these are not leak proof, like waterproof. So when you do put this together, you're not gonna wanna put like dip in here or you know, stuff that is dripping with a little bit of liquid in it, like pickles or olives. You know, I just suggest not putting them in here. There we go. So now we have it together. We're leaving that out there. Okay, let's start putting our Snackle Box together, our Tackle Box Charcuterie together. So we're gonna cut. I need to cut my cheese here. I like using you can use a knife if you want. I like using the cheese cutter for this, and then it kind of gets a little bit more uniform shapes. So I'm gonna slice up an assortment here. And you want to make sure that you have like even pieces. That's one thing that I don't like when I'm doing a charcuterie board, is I don't like to have like one piece of cheese that's really thick and then one piece that's really thin. So try to keep them uniform, and you know, pick whether you want thick, if you want thin. Another thing that you can also do, because see, that's gonna, you can't really put it in like that. So we're gonna take and we're gonna cut this in half like this and just kind of fan it out so that they're not sticking. And we're just gonna go like that with it and slide the cheese in that way. So you can kind of like fan it out so that when others are picking at it, you know, that you don't want them to have to mess with like separating. So another way that you can do, like if you have this cheese here, try to do it in chunks. That is another really good way to do this. So versus slices like that, do thicker pieces, and then do little like cube pieces like that, so that they'll fit in here better, and people can just grab a piece and go with it. They can grab a piece of cracker, they can grab a piece of cheese, they can grab a piece of meat, and then they can just go and they, you know, walk away and they're talking. Because a lot of times you'll have your group will be talking and they just walk by the Snackle Box and they just grab just what they can grab in their hands really quickly. So look at how good that is. So two different ways of doing cheese, the same cheese, it's just this is slices and then these are cubes. So it just depends on how you want them. And so then we also have the sausage, which I'm going to do just in smaller pieces. And, you know, I'm just going to add them in here. So just like that. Okay. And then this is a Colby Jack cheese, and you can use any kind of cheese that you like, that your family likes. This is a smoked cheddar cheese that our family really, really likes. And so I'm going to add a few of these to it also. And I'm going to be careful. I don't want this wrapper in here. This cheese does have a little bit of a tougher outer edge, but I'm just going to leave that on there. We don't really seem to bother us when we're eating it, so it is. And actually, I like how this was cut in the chunks, so I'm going to take and cut this in a little bit bigger pieces, and I am going to do the chunks. The smoked cheese just smells so delicious. I don't know if you've had smoked cheese before, but man, is it ever good. So you want to think about, like, when you're putting it in, to like the looks of it. What kind of a look do you want with your charcuterie? So just like you would a normal charcuterie, have a vision in your head of how you want it to look. So, and with this too, you don't want to overfill, because this is going to come down and it's going to come down flat on here. So you want to make sure that you're not overfilling. So I think I'm going to call that good, even though I have the more cheese there. This is full, so when it comes down, it's going to go flat on there. So we're just going to leave that there. And now I'm going to just do slices of this venison summer sausage. And you can use go to your local store and get your favorite meats. If you like deli meats, are another good one that you can add to this and just roll it up. That'll work too. So I'm just going to take it like that, and I'm actually going to cut these into like pizza pie pieces. And I'm going to add them right there. And so basically they'll be quick to grab. They're smaller pieces, so they can eat them, you know, just eat them as they're talking. And that's the part with this that you want. So let's go. We're going to add our crackers. And with the crackers too, you can mix and match. Do what your family likes as far as what you add in here. So like we have Cheez-Its crackers. You know, you can buy like the little small things. These are perfect for stuff like this. So we're just going to add these in here. And you might want to like fan them out a little bit. And there you go. We've got that. We've got some of these round crackers. These are really nice, good butter crackers. And these are going to fit perfect. So that's another thing too, when you're shopping, think about what's going to fit into small sizes like this. So these actually fit perfect. They're the perfect height. They're the perfect width. Oh, let's see, what else? How else are we gonna do? I like the cheese. These cheese, especially for the younger kids that are coming, they really enjoy this kind of a treat in the box, and it holds up very well in there. So let's add some color. We need a little bit of color in here. And I'm using, I'm using these small ones versus like the really big ones. You don't want the big ones. You want to get the baby ones, or cut your own and just cut them into the right size pieces that you need. So I'm going to add some dried fruit. Our family likes we're from Michigan, so we like the dried cherries. And this is dried cherries that we get from Graceland Fruits, which they do an awesome job with their dried fruits. And I really like using them in here. So, and you can add more than one. So if you want a couple things of the dried fruit, then go ahead and add it. So I'm going to add some nuts. Just going to pour them in like that. I have some small pretzels, and like if I were to have the big pretzels, they might not fit in here very well. So, you might want to just, when you're buying stuff, think small. Smaller is better. And just remember not to overfill. You want to be able to shut the lid, so make sure that you're not like getting like really too overboard on it. Oh, we've got the Cheez-Its crackers, and I have these that I want to add. These are seasoned twisted pretzels, but they are longer, so they're not going to fit like that. So I have like 2 spots here. I have a spot here. I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to add some of these here like this and kind of fan them out a little bit. And there's so many choices that you can use for, like, maybe you like salty and sweet. So like this is like, I got some sweet from the dried cherries, which are good, along with the salty crackers, and the nuts that I have here are salted nuts. So really good options. Let's see what else we have. Oh, so I have the cheese crackers. So let's see, let's add some here. And I'm kind of looking to see as far as color, like I have orange here, so let's put some orange here. We have dark here. So what do we have left here? We have nuts. You might want to kind of separate. So I have these that I haven't added. I do have the Teddy Grahams for the kids. Oh, and I do have some of these, the peanut butter pretzels. They're small, they're good for something like this. So I've got dark color here. Let's add, maybe we'll go over here. So I'm gonna add some of these berries, and we're gonna add some on this side. So there we go. The nuts, I'm gonna maybe add some nuts in here. And this, you want to kind of be careful, because if I were to just pour this here, it's gonna end up in all the other different containers. So I'm gonna kind of create a funnel with my hands when I'm doing this. So I'm gonna just pour a little bit in like that, and then create a funnel so that it just goes down into the hole and it's not all over into your other spaces, kind of like that. Sunflower seeds are another good one that might go good in here like that. So, and this is one of my favorite, the Chex mix. So we have orange here, we have orange here. I guess let's go orange here. There's a little bit of orange in there. And some of these you might want to do a couple spots. I'm just going to see, so I've got that. We are going to do pretzels here. And we'll do the Teddy Grahams. These are kind of small here. I'm going to add to this small spot here. And actually, I think I might take this out because we do have a few kids that are going, so I'm going to give them a little bit more because kids really like this, and adults, I guess. This is Teddy Grahams are one of my favorites. So we have that there. Let's see, make sure that we have all this in here. We've got that. And let's add some of the Raisinets. This is one of my favorites, the chocolate covered raisins. And we're just going to add it there, just like that. Goes in there perfect. What else? Do we have everything? I think. So I like the Chex Mix. We have the Chex Mix. I'm going to add some more Chex Mix here. We just have the one spot left. Voila, there we go. Look how beautiful that looks. And look how many different assortment of stuff that we have in there. This is going to go over very well. We're gonna shut this up. So another thing that you need to think about when you are putting together the Snackle Box is how are you going to transport it and keep it? So if, like us, we went on a kayaking trip and it was probably a good 2 hours before we put this together and stopped and actually ate it. So you want to make sure that you keep the cheese in there and the sausage, the meats and stuff. You want to make sure to keep them cold. So we did have the cooler. I made sure before when I even purchased this, that I had a cooler big enough, and this is one of our coolers that we do take on a trip, and it does slide in here. You just slide it in like that, and you can place other drinks and stuff. You can place cold packs around here. So this fits perfectly in a cooler like this, and you're good to go. So one thing to make sure, you might want to think about even buying maybe just a little bit smaller ones and having an assortment of different stuff in it. Having maybe one that's all crackers, or one that is all meat, one that's all cheese. And so then you can bring it out and there you go. So this would be a wonderful addition to any party, any gathering that you have, even family reunions. This might be really fun to take to something like that. So I hope you enjoyed this Snackle Box, also known as the Tackle Box Charcuterie, and I hope you have fun with it, and I hope you make some with your family. This is a great thing to do with kids. If you have kids in your family, let them pick what they want in there. So have fun with it. Show lots of pictures. I'd love to see pictures in the comments, and let's go and let's have some fun with this. So make sure to subscribe to my page, comment and like this video, and look at my other ones. My blog is FromMichiganToTheTable.com. I have all kinds of recipes on there, and have fun with it. So we'll see you. Bye.